The Imagine More Success radio show is the all about you show with successful entrepreneurs and business experts sharing their stories and powerful takeaways while providing you with tips, tools, tactics, and a free weekly gift to help you thrive. Your hosts for the Imagine More Success radio show are the best-selling authors Cindy Hendricks, a certified business consultant, and Thomas Hides, a certified world-class public speaking coach. Check out the Imagine More Success radio show at imaginemoresuccess.net, because now is the time to realize your dreams and imagine more success.
Welcome to the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. We are so glad that you could join us today. We're going to be tackling some really fun health and wellness topics today, which really, I think, are vitally important for you during this time. Actually, during all times, but right now especially, as more and more people are experiencing depression, loneliness, feelings of disconnection. People are feeling mentally unstable. People are really starting to feel like they want to get back to some sort of normal, and at the same time, they don't necessarily know exactly what normal is. So, Cindy, I know that you've seen a lot of this. We hear it from people that we work with. It's all over the news. Cindy, did you know that there is now a title for a minister of loneliness in both the UK and in Japan?
I can believe it, because with what's going on now, especially in our new normal, that people just are feeling very isolated. And I'm sure especially in the senior community, because, they're typically isolated to begin with, because, they're limited due to health issues and so forth. And so when you add a pandemic and you can't really go anywhere except the drive-through.
Right. I'm laughing. It's actually nothing to laugh about. This is serious business.
I know, but those people are making a small fortune right now.
And this minister of loneliness thing really hit me kind of hard. I actually was reading about it yesterday. I wasn't aware of it. I didn't know that it was a thing, but I'm assuming now that it is that important that governments now are planning departments and state heads for just that very idea. And for you who's listening today, making your wellness a priority is extraordinarily important.
Well, and you know what they say is, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything, because there's not that much you can do if your health is struggling along.
Yes, and if you are not necessarily putting yourself as a focus or putting yourself first and taking care of yourself first, today we want to really encourage you to consider making some changes and really taking on health and wellness in a new way and making it a priority for you. So today we're going to have a guest onto the show. Her name is Shanna Treloar. She is the wellness specialist at DaoCloud. She's going to be spending some time with us today telling us about how important it is to really make you a priority and how important it is for you to do this. And we're going to go over a range of topics today. We're going to talk about some of the services that she encourages and some of the changes that she's seen in people's lives, as well as share some of her own personal story about growing up in Northeast Oregon, a place that I love and I think is extraordinarily beautiful. And we're just really to have her on the show today. Really happy to have you here. Shanna Treloar, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, Thomas. It's so nice to be with you and Cindy. Excited to have some fun.
Very cool. We're glad to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So before we jump into the DaoCloud experience and talking about the company that you work with, tell us a little bit about your first experiences with wellness and self-care.
Sure. I'd love to share some context on that. I am so grateful that at our community in DaoCloud, everyone on our team, we all have our own wellness journey, right? And as you know, with practitioners, it's how they usually get into the work that they do. So
true.
I grew up out in the garden, hanging out in the dirt. We grew up out in the country. So that connection was just a part of me. I also grew up an athlete. I played collegiate volleyball, had a great time. So, that was kind of growing up. I that was just normal, I guess you would say. I think I had a huge shift, though, just, after college, I found the power of like food is medicine. And from there, just really nourishing my physical vessel has allowed me to, continue to create and build in the other areas of our wellness, right? Mind, body, spirit. So that's a little bit of where I started, and then so it's been blossoming and evolving. And then just over 4 years ago, Max Coleman, who is our CEO and co-founder, reached out to me and let me know what they were up to. We actually were connected earlier in life, like back in college, through a company that offered us scholarships, and it was a lot of fun. So I jumped on with the mission and the community, and yeah, it's been incredible.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So take a moment and tell us a little bit about this company that you work for called DaoCloud.
Sure, absolutely. So DaoCloud is the largest network of vetted wellness professionals, and it's really our mission to make wellness and holistic care primary for people. And so we're educating people in the public, from this holistic view of conditions. And then we match them with the practitioners and the resources that can really support them depending on what they need in their health. And so I'm here to just guide people on their wellness journey. A lot of times people just don't know where to start. So we make it super easy and match them. And then, of course, it helps our wellness practitioners grow. So it's a win-win.
And how long has the company been going? Because I know you're relatively new.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we went live. We're heading on our 5th year, and then here next month we are going to be rebranding. So yeah, we've been up and live for just over 5 years.
Cool.
Well, that's pretty wild to be able to go to the very top of the business segment that you're in just 5 years. That's really something to be commended.
Yes.
And what's the new name?
The new name will be heal.me.
Oh, beautiful.
Very contemporary.
Yeah, I like that. So Shanna, where do people usually find themselves when they start the process of looking for your type of service? What type of health are they in? What kind of mental space are they in? What's the thing that causes them to search you out?
Sure. So as far as the practitioner side, we're here to serve wellness practitioners to grow. And we have a large range of practitioners, right? So there's some people that are just getting started. They just graduated or they just got licensed or what have you. So we help people that are just getting started in their business. We also have practitioners that are very well established and renowned in the work that they do. So there's really a range. And so it depends on people's goals. But just to put it very simply, people who align with a holistic lens and are accepting clients and want to grow, like, we're here to help them.
Yes, and those are the practitioners that you work with for sure. What about the people who are actually looking for a practitioner that come to your website to find someone? Where are they kind of in their life usually?
Yes, I would say many of the people are kind of on their last straw. We want to bridge that gap sooner and help people find the care they need quicker, But oftentimes, yes, a lot of the community and the clients that we match with our practitioners are folks who haven't been able to live in the way that they know they deserve. And they're really looking to get to the root cause of what's going on. They don't want to just keep masking things and kind of shoving things under the rug. It's very much people are proactive and ready to collaborate in their wellness journey.
So a lot of times you're finding people then that they feel like they've almost run out of options. They're kind of, they've tried lots of other things and then they find themselves needing an answer that they haven't maybe come upon yet. So they're they're looking at you in order to find someone who is a health professional who's really able to kind of take them to the next level and reverse maybe some negative health outcome that they've had so far.
Yeah, it's a big part of it because it's a very personal and courageous journey to pursue pursue wellness and thriving, right? So we're offering this space where they feel supported, they can get educated, and then there's also this really simple little quiz we have. So if they're just like, I don't know where to begin, they can take a quiz and we can help match them with the content and the practitioners who can help them that way.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So what kind of questions do they ask?
Sure. As far as like when they come on, or you mean our quiz that we offer?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's very much seeing what their goals are. Oftentimes people don't know exactly what therapy to look for. They don't know exactly what practitioner to seek out, but they know that, a reoccurring pattern or that ailment or a goal they have. So if they're looking for support with, let's say, stress or even self-care or migraines, we can match them with the people who can support them.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, even better than going to the doctor.
Yes.
And this is really a way for someone to kind of integrate again, right? To really bring in other professionals, maybe who have a different perspective or who are helping with the day-to-day, create day-to-day routines that are healthy, new types of therapies.
Yes, exactly. We, not to have the public feel overwhelmed, but we have close to 70 different therapies that we recognize. And we're here to shine light and really bring awareness to the work that our holistic health practitioners are doing. And so it's like, yeah, people are seeking support, whether it's mind, body, spirit. And when they come on the DaoCloud, they know that the content and the practitioners that they get to see are people who align with the holistic lens.
That's beautiful.
Do you find, I'm sorry, Thomas.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you find that when someone does come on board, that they not only go to one, but maybe go to a few different practitioners to take a look at several different things they may be experiencing?
Yes, indeed. I have even talked with people, and some of even my friends, like, yeah, we have lots of our people that work with multiple practitioners. And it's just like I mentioned just a little bit earlier, we understand it's an intimate process. And so we just want to make it really simple and guide people along their way.
Yes. Now, it's always fascinating to me to find out where the idea came from. And it sounds like you have a good relationship with Mr. Max Coleman, the CEO and founder. How did he come up with this idea?
Yes, Max Coleman is our CEO and co-founder, and he had his own health journey growing up, and he actually was experiencing chronic pain, and he was young, he was in middle school, high school, and he had very bad back pain and some other things going on. He actually went to the John Hopkins one of the top pain specialists in the country. And they let him know that he was good and there was nothing wrong with him and he was all right. But he, intuitively knew that wasn't the case. And so through his own, research, and it's a courageous act, right? So it took, many years, but through mindfulness, yoga, nutrition.
And Shanna, when we come back in just a moment, we're going to continue this story talking about the founder of DaoCloud. We're going to spend more time with Shanna Treloar. We're going to continue to encourage you to make wellness a priority in your life when we return in just a moment. Thanks for sticking around with us on the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. We're really delighted to continue the conversation today with Shanna Treloar as we're discussing her path of becoming a wellness specialist and her work with DaoCloud, which is helping you to make wellness a priority in your life. Shanna, something that came up actually in communicating with you was that one of your favorite quotes was from Rupi Kaur, which is, "What is the greatest lesson a woman should learn? That since day one, she's already had everything she needs within herself. It's the world that convinced her she did not."
Yes, I love the way that sounds.
I had never heard that before, but that touched me very, very deeply. That really is a very moving, that's a really moving quote. Do you find that that also applies to people with their health as well, that the health that they desire is somewhere inside of them as well?
I believe personally that our primary state is thriving and shining and miraculous and divine. So yes, I absolutely think that sometimes, we get to this place in our journey, we just got to take a deep breath and just go within, and just that solitude and that peace of that inner place that is only where we know and can feel. I think we can always, intuitively know the next step.
Cindy, I know that you are incredible intuitive, so that you find yourself being moved and led in that way as well, and also in observation of others and of self through intuition. How did that make you feel when you heard that quote?
Well, it just confirms what I already know and believe, that, we have this body that's incredibly made, and so many times we doubt that we can do anything to help ourselves. And, the body was meant to self-heal. And I think a lot of times people forget that. And especially with food. Food is medicine, and there's no drug that you can take that makes more difference to the body than our food supply. And the lesson I learned with my husband was when I changed his horrible diet. I got him off like 3 medications. I said, "Honey, you have a death wish eating the kind of food that you're eating." And he loved the foods that I prepared for him because, they were well prepared. They just weren't laden with fried fat, gravy, sweets, and things like that, breads. And, you have to have, the fresh fruit and vegetables that are so packed with so many nutrients that the body just gets a hold of them and just says, "Hey, let's go." And the wine, let's have some resveratrol. So I am on board and have been for a very long time.
Is that what led you into this work? Was it really an internal feeling of intuition that this was a path you wanted to take?
For Shanna?
Yes, Shanna.
Yeah. So it's been a blessing. I've told people that I called this opportunity in, and so I'm so grateful because before this I was working with in community health, and I had a great time supporting my community. But I was just thinking I would love to be a part of a company that is my people and where I can, grow and keep learning, and that also shared some of my values. And so when Max and I connected, I was just like, this is incredible. I want to be a part of this. Let's do it. There's work to do.
That's really incredible. I think that especially during this last year, I think a lot of people have found themselves connecting more with their intuition because maybe they've had to stop, or maybe because they've had this change in their life that's almost forced them at least to look at themselves differently, and to not to repeat something that keeps being repeated, but really follow their passion, follow what they really desire.
Yes, I agree. And I wanted to add something if I could, is that it's, I believe that, like Cindy mentioned this earlier, that our body is one of the greatest technologies that we have. And, you know, like Cindy was saying, like our greatest resources are within. And so these tools and, you know, the food is medicine, and our breath work or going on a walk, getting sunshine, these are all just amazing ways that we can nourish ourselves. And so um, I find that just very fascinating. And I think what I'm trying to get across right now is that, you know, people that just want to feel better in their body or emotionally or spiritually, it's just about being curious and just continuing to take one step at a time.
Well, you
That's a
know,
great.
on that same note, I have to share that I was having a crown done, and the dentist was going to give me, you know, that Novocaine shot. And back then I could barely tolerate looking at a needle. And so I said, you know, you're going to have to do that today without a shot. And he goes, oh, Cindy, no, you have. I said, no, I can't do the shot today. So he goes, well, I tell you what, if you just pat my arm, if you feel pain, then I'll stop. And I said, I won't have to pat your arm because you'll know.
Yes.
And so after he finished doing the crown work, he said, you know what, Cindy, I cannot believe that you didn't even move. He goes, you hypnotized yourself. And I said, I don't have any idea how to do that. But what I do know is there was no way I was able to take a shot today. So that's my point of the body, is this magnificent thing that we all own. And, you know, if you just put it in your mind what you need to do and just focus on that, I mean, you can do so many things, especially with pain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that coordinates with a kidney stone, but but certainly I was able to handle, you know, getting a crown.
Mm-hmm.
Shanna, if in your business in DaoCloud, what are some of the most utilized therapies that people come to you for that they find and have great results?
Sure. I think that when people get going, it's, you know, they're moving their body, they're, you know, finding the foods that help them feel well and feel nourished. Um, and then just having that place where they can relax. So, I mean, the therapies that some of the common therapies, like we have a diverse community of heart-centered professionals, from chiropractic care and uh, Chinese medicine, naturopathic, body work, fitness, yoga. So we really are uniting all the leaders in wellness. So we have quite a few therapies.
So what's is there something? Is there a therapy or a couple of therapies that are, say, a little off the beaten track? I think a lot of people probably have heard of, you know, all
Yeah,
of those things that you just mentioned. What are a few that are a little different that people might really be surprised to even know exist?
sure. I'll share that personally, I've loved network chiropractic care. It's, if you haven't heard of it, there's actually no adjustments or cracking going on. And it's more of the energetic piece is how I describe it. I'm not sure if that's how they describe it, but it's the energetic piece and just that working with the nervous system.
And
So
what type of chiropractic is that?
it's called network spinal analysis.
Network spinal analysis. Okay.
And yeah, it's great. You can look it up, and we have lots of network spinal analysis chiropractors. They're the only health practitioners that are credentialed to do network care. And so that the first time I experienced network care was last summer, and it just helped me to shift a lot as far as my perspective, which, you know, when you have a shift in perspective, lots of things start to unfold. So it was great. And yeah, I can share some other interesting therapies too, but that's one that's been helpful.
Yeah,
Well,
let's.
that one sounds like it's acupuncture without the needles.
I like that. Yeah, it's it's divine. It's that's the funny thing, right? Is like oftentimes when we're in our wellness journey, we have these moments or epiphanies or a shift, and it's like we can't put them into words sometimes. It's like indescribable, but it's part of being a human, so it's all good.
Yeah, it seems I'm just doing a little bit of reading on it here. Just in the moment, it looks like this really is taking chiropractic almost to an integrative level, or it's taking it to a place where you're integrating mind, body, and spirit instead of maybe what people typically think of as kind of, back cracking, bone manipulation, muscle manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see where that would be something that is a little off of the beaten path, but apparently a lot of people are having quite a bit of excellent results from that. Not just adjusting the spine, but also to reduce stress on the overall nervous system as well, which a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are experiencing right now. Right? There's a lot of nervous system stress. There's a lot of stressors. There's
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of people. If for no other reason, then let me just tell you a quick story. A friend of a
Yeah.
friend, we ended up visiting, and the thing she said that really struck me as funny, and I really laughed. She said, "You know what? I really hate change." And I just burst out laughing because that's all there is. And
Exactly.
especially right now and at that time in her life, I was like, we have to learn to embrace it, love it. It's a part, it is everything. Everything is constantly changing. The idea that things are ever the same, it's really an illusion. So
Mm-hmm.
So, Thomas, get her the book, Who Moved My Cheese?
yeah, yeah, you know,
I'll
you're
write
right.
that
She
down.
wouldn't, she would like that, I'm sure.
And I know who you're talking about.
Don't like
Oh yeah, you're right. It's like that's the only constant in this world that we get to live in and hang out in, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and change can be exciting. It can be good. So I love change. I embrace it.
Mhm. Yeah, yes, I'm with you.
Shanna, what is your idea for how you'd like to see the work that you do progress in the future?
Hmm. We've had so much fun, and we're having a lot more fun now. And we come together every morning into a meditation and share gratitude with each other and for our community and our vision. And we're truly making wellness primary care. And so we're here to continue to shine light on this work because it's valuable and people need to know about it. And so um, I really see the fruition happening of just more awareness, more value, more connection. And I think the wellness wave and the consciousness of the planet, it's been growing, and so we want to keep that wave going. And so just keep building connection, awareness, and empowering people is what we're here to do.
That's really beautiful, and I think that that's really in alignment with a lot of things that are going on in the world in general, certainly in alignment with what Cindy and I believe and do. And we're always happy to have someone come onto the show who is in alignment with that same concept, because it's so very important. So very important to contribute and to really help people and to get people to the next level and to make a better place for all of us, because it's I can't think of anything that's really more important. So we want you to continue to listen today. Come back in just a couple of minutes. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we're going to continue with Shanna Treloar, who's the wellness specialist at DaoCloud, and we're going to keep talking about how you can make wellness a priority in your life. Please stay tuned. back on the Imagine More Success radio show with Cindy and Thomas. Thank you for staying with us today, and we're really excited to continue the conversation today with Shanna Treloar, who is a wellness specialist from DaoCloud, and we are really encouraging you today to make wellness a priority in your life. Most of you that are probably listening, you're probably already doing this, but you know what? There's always that one part of our life that could be improved, where maybe if we took a little bit better care of ourselves, it would translate into a more abundant life, into a life that is happier, into a life that is that feels better, that you can wear better, that feels amazing. And that's what we really want to talk about today. So,
and you know what I have found is that people tend to wait until it's past time they should have gone to find someone to help them. How about that, Shanna? Is that something that you find as well?
Mm-hmm. It is. And it's one of these things I think as human beings we do, but we can make changes from a place of inspiration and curiosity and excitement. But oftentimes, people are motivated to change when crisis hits or trauma, or, they're just done, So yes, I think those are the two places, or kind of that. I mean, we live in a world of polarity, right? But those are usually the kind of entry points of someone ready to be proactive in their wellness journey.
Well, it takes a lot less effort to heal yourself if you start working on it, like with anything, if you start working on it sooner than later.
Yes, I agree.
and this is a concept, I know I've talked about this on the show before, that concept of a slow variable, meaning like you start something that you do repetitively, and that the results of it don't come immediately, but slowly over time, that one variable that you will have tweaked will pay large dividends much farther down the road. And wellness certainly has probably innumerable number of things that you can tweak and change in order to make sure that as we age, or as the aging process comes upon us, that we can go into that process with a level of dignity and grace and really great help, and find a fantastic, wonderful life experience. Shanna, I see something in your bio that I wanted to ask you about. It says here that you are a member of the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla. I want you to take a moment and tell me a little bit about.
Oh, sure.
Tell me a little bit about the tribe.
Yeah, I was born and raised here in Oregon, and I'm a tribal member of the Cayuse and Walla Walla tribes. Okay. Also Nez Perce and Lakota. But yeah, we here in the northeast part of Oregon, we have CTUIR, which is the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation. And so I think we have probably close to 3,000 members within our Confederated Tribes. And yeah, I was born and raised here, and I've been back here for a few years. And so I love it.
Very cool. Where else did your life journeys take you?
Yeah, I mean, I was born and raised here. After high school, I played collegiate volleyball in the Portland area, had a lot of fun, and thought I would pursue that, keep playing volleyball, go to college, finish it up. But that's when I came across a company that I am so grateful for, and was able to build a direct sales clientele, build amazing relationships. And I was with that company for 4 years. And then from there transitioned into community health there at the Tribal Health Center with our community. And so I got to help people with their health and wellness and fitness, and loved being in my community, and it felt so at home. But yeah, after there for a couple of years, I found DaoCloud, and then from there, things have been evolving.
That's beautiful. What is it like to be in your own community, to to promote health and wellness. There's a part of the Bible that I'm sure I'm going to misquote where they say a prophet is not without honor, except amongst his own countrymen, in his own home, and amongst his own family. Did you find did you find there was any difficulty in really promoting health and wellness when you're doing it from the place where you're from?
Sure. So there's always a range of people in their wellness journey. I think that absolutely there was, there was challenging times, because the wellness journey is a collaboration with the person in pursuit of that, and their practitioner if they decide to work with someone.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, there's a lot of components to that, and I think there's so many things that pop into my head right now, and so I think that
That's okay. Tell us whatever you'd like to.
Sure. I think it's people got to be ready, but also it's important as leaders in health and wellness to provide a safe space and to provide support and to provide education and just to start to plant those seeds of awareness. And I think if we I look back on my journey, and I think that it's been such an evolution and a gradual, beautiful process. So you just have to meet people where they're at. And people have to be ready to work too.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons why I bring that up is recently a good friend of mine that lives here in Las Vegas said that people in her business are not necessarily taking her seriously because they see her as being from Las Vegas, and they want to take the opinion of someone else with a different experience, maybe from a different bigger city. They seem to be more open to listening to them because, for whatever reason, maybe because of that concept that people that are well known to you or from the same area aren't necessarily people you'll listen to. So I guess that was just kind of the forefront of my mind. Yeah. And, I mean, I've certainly noticed that in other places as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I think, it's just, I've felt challenged when I was working in the health center. Any person who has worked in a clinic, will say that there's challenging times, but I think that the safety has to be there first for people, whether whether we're health practitioners in a clinical setting or we're a sole practitioner jumping on a discovery call. I think just holding an open and safe space is really the first piece of anything that can blossom. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about trust in the relationships between people who are giving health services or who are providing health services and people who are accepting them and people who are utilizing them. Where do you find that, in what part of the relationship do you find that trust is really built? Or what's the process, I guess, that you see that trust being built between someone who's a practitioner and someone who is a patient?
Sure. Well, I will also pre-frame and say that pretty much 9 times out of 10, our DaoCloud practitioners are referred by their colleagues. And that's been a big way that we've built a trusted community of practitioners and, been able to vet people. So that's been huge. Our community is really all connected and have, they've been referring their friends and so on.
Cool.
And so when people, when the public comes on, a potential client, they come on and they do see that space where they're like, there's tons of content, there's tons of support, and it really does guide them along the way. And they can also see how our practitioners have helped other people in the community. So there's lots of ways that they can get to know the community and seek out a practitioner that would be great.
You were talking about you're talking about getting your body moving, getting out in nature a little bit earlier as well. And I know
Mhm.
that there is this trend towards people spending time in nature, which is actually, I'm calling it a new trend. This is something that people known about for a million years and have been doing,
Sure, right.
right? This is, but because we're reading about it on the internet again, it's trending,
Mhm.
right? This kind of idea. Um, do, in the place that you live in Oregon, which
Yeah.
is such a gorgeous place, do you find that that type of environment really makes a difference in people's health? Like, say someone comes there to visit and they explore the kind of beautiful area that you live, because it is one of my favorite parts of the country.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes, and you're so right. It's like I've been thinking about this lately, Thomas, where you know, nature is not new, so to speak. It's like we've been all hanging out outside for a long time, or we've all been drinking water forever. We've been eating great foods, and
Right.
but I think it's what I find so much fun is that it's 2021 now, and so there have never been humans in history that have lived like us, and so
Yeah.
this is a new era. And I think that's what is so exciting is like we're reminded of things that we already know and have done, but it's in this new context and in this new world. And so yeah, I totally know what you're saying. And um what help me or help guide me back to where I was headed or
No, that was perfect. Yeah, I was just saying, like, do you see a difference in people, say, when they come to visit that part of Oregon, or when they find themselves outdoors? Well, I know, like, friends of mine
yeah.
that moved from Oregon and lived in Las Vegas, where I live now, they were driven crazy by the lack of trees. And when they went back,
Mhm.
that's the first thing that they really just clung to, was the idea of, like, seeing trees and not just
Mhm.
rocks, not just sand, not just
Yes.
not just palm trees along the roadside and in people's yards, but really
Well,
experiencing
there's
a beautiful
definitely
part of
not the hustle
nature,
bustle there, Thomas, of Las Vegas, that's
for
for
sure.
sure. And
Oh yeah.
not just with the people, but when you're in that kind of nature, because I go up there every couple of years to uh, this place on the coast, and it's just got this magical vibe to it that it forces you to get into the nature. I don't know what it is. There must be something in the air.
Hmm.
It's a special place. I mean, I have to say that. And there's a little place, a lighthouse called Cape Meares, that's on the coast of Oregon. And I remember being there a couple of years ago, and it was chilly and it was windy and it was amazing. And I sat on this little bench. There was no one anywhere around, and I was surrounded by the sounds of the ocean. I could hear birds, the sounds of the wind through the trees,
Hmm.
the feeling of the air, everything about it was such an in-depth connection to nature in a moment that just became a lifelong memory.
But did you see any
And
whales? That's like the Shangri-La
they
for
were
whales.
they were probably busy. I just missed them. I just missed them.
Yes.
I've
I,
really.
lo- I love that you guys are saying that though, because people can be in nature even if they do live in downtown LA. And it might not be as
Right.
simple. I live out in the country, but like we can get our house plants or we can go to the park. There's little trees and such. And even like that comes back to eating live foods. It's really going to help us as well. So yes, and we feel good in nature because we are nature. And so we're at home when we get to feel into that.
Well, there's
That's
something to be
another
said
great
about
quote
taking
today.
your shoes off and putting your feet in the grass because that really helps ground and really have a connection.
And we're going to talk about
Hmm.
that when we come back in just a couple of minutes. Thanks for being with us today on the Imagine More Success radio show. Please stick around. We've got a really fun, great free gift from our guest today, Shanna Treloar. She's from DaoCloud. She is helping you to make wellness a priority in your life. So please stay tuned. welcome back to the Imagine More Success Show with Cindy and Thomas. We're so glad you could stay with us today and finish up the show with us. If you haven't been listening so far, we've had 3 really wonderful segments with Shanna Treloar, who is a wellness specialist from DaoCloud, a company that we're highlighting today, and talking about some of the wonderful ways that you can make wellness a priority in your life and experience a really fantastic feeling when it comes to the way you feel about yourself and the way your body, mind, and spirit feel. Cindy, this is definitely like a great show for us. This is exploring some of the topics that we love to talk about and that we love to experience. Both of us have had some really great healing come from some practitioners who are the type of practitioners you would actually find on DaoCloud.
Absolutely. And it sure beats taking all those drugs, doesn't it?
Yeah.
One of the
Depends
things
on who you ask, but yes.
Yes, one of the things I would like, well, they have their place, but not every day. And one of the things I've learned recently is that when you do take heavy painkillers, i.e. narcotics, when you get off those painkillers, your pain comes back in a stronger, worse way. And I did not know that.
Shanna, do you have some experience with people having issues with pain and then having some real results utilizing things like chiropractic, acupuncture, craniosacral therapy, things like that?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and even grateful for my mom, who she gets acupuncture for back pain, and it's been helpful. And so, yes, I think that
Cindy has the same experience, and
Yes.
it's working like a charm.
Yes.
Good. I'm happy. Yes, isn't it incredible?
In fact, I was just there this morning.
Good.
A little behind the scenes. I like that.
Yes.
Well, it sure beats those narcotics because I just don't like taking them.
You're right, Cindy. And they can have their place if necessary, of course. But our, notion is that it's not primary, and
It's not, and it's not healthy. In fact, I would love to share a tip for people listening that boswellia is one of the best things that you can find I found it in Curamed, and you can find it in other places. It's actually frankincense. So it's almost
I love that you said that. I have mine right here.
It's almost got a spiritual connection, when you're taking it or applying it topically, because that is a huge pain reliever. So look it up, check it out, and quit taking those narcotics unless you absolutely have to.
As an athlete yourself, what sort of modalities do you find that you personally utilize? And after you're kind of finished explaining that, maybe tell us some of the kind of supplements that you personally use.
Sure. I walk every day. I get sunshine. I'm big on dropping in first thing in the morning. And so when I wake up, I don't open anything. I just drink some water and go into my meditation space. So that is my space and my time, and really just that opportunity where I can fill up my cup and fill up my field. And so that's really important to me, to have that time in the morning, sharing gratitude and just envisioning, and I want to be of service to people, and I'm up to myself too, and the collective. So starting my day off right that way is really important. And something that also is really helpful for my journey is actually more of the quantum healing work.
Okay, describe that.
Sure, it's I've actually been working with my doctor, who's she actually does the network spinal care, but she also does this quantum healing work. And it's beautiful. I first have to say that how it helped me to shift was to just allow grace in in my journey and in experiences in my life. And then to be able to honor that, release it, and then continue moving forward in a more expansive way. So quantum healing is really just, we're working with the quantum field and our energy body. And so, Cindy, I think you could probably almost explain it better than me, because I'm just like, I'm that person. I'm like receiving it, I'm in it, and I can feel it. And so, but you know, the main thing with any type of like healing work is it's another tool to allow
Well,
us to.
what most people don't realize is that the body has enough energy inside to light up an entire city. And the way that it works is that we have 7 chakras in our body, and each chakra is connected to an energy field that surrounds the body, which is called the auras. And within that, you have like, I think there's 5 different bodies around us of energy. And if you can tap into those, and you know, the meridians that go through the body, they're the ones that the acupuncture people tap into to help remove the pain. So there is proof that we do have this energy system within our body because the acupuncturists tap into it and help to relieve the pain. So I find it to be totally fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just really a space where, again, we're working with the greatest resources that we were born with, that we already have, and that is our spirit and our mind and our body.
And working with forces and within ourselves that maybe aren't quantifiable just yet. And I think I want to throw this out there a little bit. We're going to say quantifiable just yet. Because if we always waited for proof, right, or a way to specifically measure something, there's a lot of things that would have never progressed, because technology is a relatively new phenomenon in the course of human history. And this is not to say that technology isn't important. It is super important, and it's wonderful, and we need to make use of it in many, many places. When it comes to something like the human being who has both or all mind, body, and spirit, we're not always going to have the technology right in the moment to be able to prove theories or to check hypotheses. Sometimes we just have to find our way by faith, and sometimes we have to find our way by practices that have been in practice long before the light bulb was ever invented.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we waited for specific sound frequency generators and all the technology to measure sound waves in order to sing opera wouldn't have started until the 1920s. You know what I mean? This is would have been going on for hundreds of years prior to that. So I think there's a lot of things in the world that are like that.
Yes, and people totally underestimate the power of spirituality and everything that's connected with that. And it's all about, like you said, Thomas, it's all about faith and believing and knowing. It's totally about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just to add a little bit to that, you know, with the energy field or the unified field, whatever you would like to call it, I just instantly think of the Einstein quote, where it's something along the lines of the field is the sole governing agency of matter. So to me, that is like the energy is what is influencing the particle, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, the things that are around you are influencing what's inside you. The energy, your energy field is influencing on a micro level.
Exactly. And the power of thought. I mean, everyone underestimates the power of thought. And if you ever want to give it a test, just take it for a spin, because I've worked my whole life on the power of thought, believing, spirituality, and you can do anything you want to do. You just have to be able to believe and visualize it and tap into your own energy system, and hey, you're there.
And this is the other point I would like to make just quickly as well, is that technology that we rely upon is actually also a product of human thought.
Mm-hmm.
This didn't just come out of the ether and just show up. This is something, the very same source of energy, thought, intention that created technology by way of desire is the same energy that creates things that we cannot yet measure, the quantum. I mean, I'm in total alignment with that.
Well,
that
and
idea.
we all have naysayers out there for everything in the universe. But just think, if all those naysayers in Europe didn't believe in, the new world, we wouldn't be here.
It's true.
Yes, you're so right. Like anything that exists began with a thought. That's just the way it is. That's an absolute.
Yes.
You got a really cool quote that I wanted to share as well, which was, the greatest temptation in life is to settle for less. And you said it's actually something that stuck with you from the time you're in your high school volleyball camp. And I really love that. And I just wanted to share that with the listeners today, because if you're in a point in your life right now where you feel like you are having to settle, that you have to settle in the level of health that you're experiencing, the level of joy and fitness, and the level of overall energy that you're experiencing, you don't have to. And it is tempting to maybe sit back and chalk up some of the feelings that you're having, or maybe to chalk them up to getting older, or to that's just what happens in time, or that's just how things go. But maybe put that temptation aside and not settle for less. Really go for something more. Really explore. Find something both outside of you, and look inside with your own intuition and see what you have inside of you that can bring you more energy, more health, more life. And with that, I wanted to share Shanna's free gift. Shanna, tell us a little bit about how someone can connect with you so that they can begin their personal health journey.
Absolutely. You can find our website at DaoCloud.com, and it's spelled D as in David, A-O, cloud.com. And I also am going to leave my Calendly link. And for any practitioners that are, helping people through a whole lens and are looking to grow, and you want to jump on a call, I would love to connect and get to know you and know your goals and share how we can support you.
And your Calendly link is calendly.com/Shanna Dao, SHANNADAO. It's also going to be in the show notes. So make sure to connect with her and see how your health journey can change, and how you can find a more, let's just say a simpler and easier path to wellness. We want to thank you so much today for joining us, Shanna. It was such a pleasure to have you here, and had a wonderful conversation. And we hope you have the very best of everything in the future, and you'll come back and join us again.
Thank you, Thomas. I'd love to. Thanks, Cindy. I just love Cindy. She's just my type of woman. So it's been so much fun to connect with you guys. Thank you for having me.
You too, absolutely. And if you want to check out some past episodes of the Imagine More Success radio show, do check out imaginemoresuccess.net, where you can find several, almost 100 episodes at this point, and you can get a free gift from each of them. You can learn from some of the top experts in business and in coaching and in marketing and strategy and overall success, health, and wellness. And if you want to learn more about how you can create more money in your own business, go to findhiddenmoney.com, where you can learn from Cindy and me, and you can learn all about how you can increase your results in your personal business. We want to thank you so very much for joining us today. We look forward to spending time with you again. We want to remind you to always realize your dreams and to imagine more success.